A lot of the time, people say they're going to make the changes, but nothing gets done. I believe you have to be out there in the community to make these changes. It's the small things that count. It's, it's imperative to support Aboriginal people that are exposed to the criminal justice system in the courts and in the jails. And how I see I can help is by becoming a criminal defence lawyer and helping out my people that have been exposed to the criminal justice system. There's not enough legal support. There are not enough rehabilitation programs, considering the significant amount of Aboriginal people that are incarcerated. Unfortunately, a lot of Aboriginal people, become part of the system, and it perpetuates our disadvantage. It becomes part of our life. Issues of institutionalisation. It's what we get used to when nothing changes. They won't turn their life around anytime soon if they don't have the support. And this will continue, and we'll always have to fight and struggle unless we make these small changes. I grew up in Rockdale, New South Wales. I attended St Joseph's Primary School, and I went to Cogamaris Brothers. I grew up with just my mother and my sister. We went through a lot of testing times, but it definitely made me a more stronger person, more determined to do something with my life. I guess growing up, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do though, and that was the thing. I found myself, from drifting from different jobs and not really doing much, and actually hanging around with the wrong people, people that could have got me into more trouble. I guess a pattern that I was in, which was basically a pattern of bad decisions, which could have led me into. I could have ended up in jail. I could have ended up on drugs. So I decided to commit to study and improve my life. It makes you question your ability. Am I good enough to do law? You think about people that study law, and it's people that have done well in high school and have had a privileged upbringing, but I was determined to do this. I was determined to become a lawyer, and so I enrolled into a law degree at University of Western Sydney, and my first semester was very challenging, very hard. I mean, you're required to read a lot, of cases, read a lot of legislation, and this is something that I've never done before in my life. But I kept at it, and my first exam that I got back, I passed, and it was, I was over the moon. I thinking, what, I can actually do this. I can finish this degree. And it's not something that you can just go into and say, I'll do a little bit of study here, a little bit of study. It's something that you really have to put everything into. Growing up as an Aboriginal boy, you find yourself, against the system itself. You're going to either end up, if you're getting yourself into trouble, you're going to either end up in juvenile detention or in jail, and it's not a good place to be. Even if you do get out and you've been charged and you've got convictions against your name, it's very hard to find employment after that, and especially if you want to study law where you have to have a squeaky clean record, you're going to find yourself studying law for no reason. If you do get yourself into trouble, you got to look at it as an opportunity to change your life, because it's something that you could either just keep going into trouble, getting yourself into more trouble, and nothing good is going to come out of it. I've been there, and it's not a good place to be. I decided to get tattoos as a way of, I guess, defining my self-identity. And I guess since then I've covered probably, I'd say close to 70% of my body. I'm very proud of my tattoos. It's helped me with my identity, with my self-esteem, and I'll continue to get them. I've got a lot of religious tattoos which represent my upbringing, and I've got a lot of quotes as well, like that, I guess that represent things that I believe in. I've got religious tattoos on my back. I've got angels, and basically they're angels that represent my grandmother who passed away. She was very important person in my life. I've got quotes that I've got throughout the time that have basically exemplify what I believe in. There are a lot of Aboriginal people out there that have got a lot of talent in sport, such as boxing, athletics, rugby league, AFL. It's important for Aboriginal people to keep fit and healthy. I believe that if you've got a strong body, you've got a strong mind. I've always been very passionate about boxing. I train on a regular basis. I feel that it's fit and healthy, keeps my mind sharp, and I've got a history of boxing. My grandfather was a boxer. I'd like to one day have a bout. Had my commitments to finishing my law degree, and once that's finished, I might have a crack at it, see how we go. Competitive with sport, and I had to basically rechannel it into academics, because I was hopeless at school. I was absolutely hopeless. I was less than hopeless, man. And I was going in the deep end. And I'm up against guys at university that have, that they've studied their whole life through high school, and they've gotten. And I asked a lot of them, they've got high HSC marks and stuff. And here's me, I've come from 25 and under mystery mark. If you've got that sort of drive in you, then you can do it. And once you push through that hard period, hard time, it's a great feeling, because you know that you've accomplished something, you know that you've finished it, done it yourself. There is a, I guess there is a light at the end of it. You know how good you are at something. You know in yourself your abilities and your, and if you need to call on your ability at one stage in your life to push for something, then these are your decisions. You have the power. The powers that be come from within. A lot of young Aboriginal people that are incarcerated seem to, once they're out, re-offend and then go back into jail. This type of pattern has to stop, because it's not doing our culture any justice. I mean, we have to break this cycle and do other things with our lives that are helpful for our people, helpful for our family. We're no use if we're in jail and we can't support the people that are outside of jail that need our support. So it's important to break out of that pattern. See, the thing is, we're having to understand Western laws. That's the thing about it. We understand Western laws because our laws don't apply. We're having to learn about, the Crown, the history of Western law, the Commonwealth, state laws, the Constitution, Australian Constitution, which is based on basically, it's got no input from Aboriginal people whatsoever. And this is something that we just have to do to survive, but it's not reciprocated. It's just, we learn your laws and don't worry about ours. And that's part of the problem, I guess, is that we have no recognition of Indigenous laws. And we're working in a system that works against us, which is a fact. It's the truth. It's the truth. I've still got a long fight ahead of me, but I'm up for the challenge. Day by day, keep up with my study, get to class, get that law degree and become a criminal defence lawyer. That's what's in sight. All the struggles in my life have equipped me to take on the system that brings us down, that keeps us incarcerated. Everybody has their own journey in life. It's the small things that add up for the bigger picture, and we can all do our part. Studying law is my passion, and I know that it will give me the tools to fight for my people. I'll never forget where I come from and where I grew up. Stay true to myself. I'm covered in ink, but when that suit is on, you better come prepared.